finally happening. After like 3 months.
This is way longer than that. This was like meant to be like as soon as you got back. Alright you guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I have my best friend Ashley here again. And today we're going to be talking about our missions, serving for the church, or our missions in our lives. And so there's a lot of good things, and I feel like so many different opinions because it's so good to serve a mission, but also you shouldn't feel bad for not serving a mission. And so we're going to talk about both sides of that because she has served and I have not. And so go over a lot of different ideas. But if you haven't, if you're new to my channel and haven't subscribed yet, please do that. Give the video a thumbs up and let us know below what other advice or things you would like us to talk about. Let's get into the video. Alright, so first off, we're going to talk about how we came to the conclusion of our decisions. So Ashley served a mission, and then I didn't. So we'll kind of talk about those, but if you just give us like a brief overview of what made you decide to serve a mission.
Yes, I can do that. It's a long story condensed into a couple seconds or a minute. Wow, that was really dumb. Okay, so I felt a lot of pressure to serve a mission. One of the questions people would ask when they would first talk to me is like, so what's your name? Are you going to school? When are you going on a mission? And so I felt so much pressure. I decided that I really didn't want to serve. I was like, so many people are saying I need to go. I'm just gonna push back and say that's not for me. I had to have a surgery that took me a lot of recovery time, and I was preparing to go through the temple. I was meeting with my bishop and I felt strongly that I needed to prepare to go through. Eventually I was able to go through the temple, which was amazing, and I was still healing from my surgery, which was on my tailbone, which wasn't fun at all. Brianna knew me pretty well. Okay, so I decided to keep it a secret from everyone so after I went through the temple, I started feeling more and more, how can I not share these blessings that I've received with other people? And started thinking about a mission a lot more, and was wondering, is that something that I really want to do? And I decided I would keep it a secret from everybody, but I would start to go through the process of serving mission, or starting my papers. And I started finishing everything, and then I got a blessing from my stepdad, and he said that Heavenly Father would be pleased if I decided to serve a mission, and he would be pleased if I decided to not serve a mission. And then I realized that's actually something that I wanted to do for myself. There's a lot more background story, but
that's the condensed version that we're going to show in this video. And I guess mine was right around that time, because I decided, or I didn't decide, but I just never really felt like I should go on a mission. But that started to kind of feel different, because we both kind of, when we met, we was kind of having in common, we both didn't feel like a mission was what we needed to do. And then as she left, and like a bunch of my other friends and people are, especially there's a lot of pressure in our church, the Church of Jesus Christ Latter-day Saints, to go on missions. And so a lot of pressure, and that's what people ask. It's one of the number one things is, where have you served your mission, or are you going? And so I started feeling like a lot of pressure, and I was like, well, should I go? And I was really kind of just struggling with that decision because I had never felt like I could, but I was just feeling a lot of that pressure from other people. And it was a year and a half before Ashley left on her mission I went through. This was before we even knew each other. And there's a lot of story behind that and stuff, and I won't go over that today. But then shortly after that, I was working as a temple worker. And we just kind of, as a temple worker, you just kind of help people around there, make sure they're going all the different ways, where they're supposed to be going, and kind of helping with the different ordinances that are in the temple. And so I was a part of that. Everything was going great. And Ashley, no, this was about 2 weeks or a week before you went on your mission, right?
When I decided not to go?
No, when you went on your mission.
That what?
So I think either you were leaving that week, I think this was a week before you left on your mission. And I was going to Institute. And Institute is just one of our classes that you can go to weekly, or different times of the week, and you just learn about religious materials. And I started going to one at one of the colleges that she was going to Institute up there. And there were some different classes or some different clubs I was thinking about being a part of, and to be a part of those, I would have to quit my temple shift I was working on. And as I thought about it, I was like, well, this feels like I should do this and stuff. And I just remember I went and told my shift coordinator, and just that relief being over me, like that's what I needed to do. And I later was thinking, and exactly, so I went to, actually no, it was actually a week or two after that was my last day. I gave them 2 weeks notice that I would not be working there any longer. And I remember sitting in the temple and just counting down, and it was exactly 1 year, 6 months, and 1 week that since I went to the temple. And for me, I realized that my mission was temple work. Serving for the dead, serving for the people in the temple, and doing a lot of family history work. And so that was kind of my whole thing. I didn't realize what was going on, but for me, like serving people like that was kind of my answer to my prayer, because of the exact timing, and I never sensed that I felt like I should serve. That was kind of the answer to me, and I felt that pressure. People still ask, but it doesn't matter because I had that confirmation for myself, and so I think that changed a lot and really helped me to find that peace of where I needed to serve. What is the biggest blessing you received from serving your mission?
Can you actually answer that first?
Okay.
So I have time to think.
Okay. So the biggest blessing I felt, I think it was really just knowing God was in control of my life, because the whole entire time where I was serving what I've come to call as my mission, I didn't know what was happening, but I was serving a lot, I was helping other people, and was really able to influence other people, and especially for me, that was how I was able to grow. And so I think a lot of people say you can only go on missions to grow, or you'll never grow in certain ways, but for me, I grew so much that I don't know if I could have done just my personality, how everything goes on in my life. I don't know if I would have grown the same ways, and I'm sure it would have been great if I went, but for me that really helped. And just to know that God was there for me, and even if I don't know what's going on, He has a plan. And just be able to serve other people, because being able to serve in the temple, and I do want to clarify, when you're working in the temple, it's a volunteer thing. We don't get paid, it's all service. But just be able to help the people in there and just kind of get to know them more on a personal level. Or even just kind of know and kind of love them as God does, and just be able to look past anything in their life, but people come into the temple for peace and to come closer to God. And so a lot of them, everyone's struggling, and you're always going there because you want to be closer to God, and just be able to see people for who they really are, and not for what they've done or what they'll become.
That's beautiful. For me, one of the greatest blessings I received from serving a full-time mission was, you know, a lot of people say that serving their mission is the best 18 months or 2 years of their life, and in my perspective, it was an awesome 18 months, but I know that the future is as bright as our faith, and that the best is yet to come, and that you can make any 2 years or 18 months the best of your life. It was a great experience for sure, and I loved the people, I loved Ohio, and I loved that I was able to go, but I know that there's going to be other things in my future that will be just as amazing. But one of the things that I really loved, which I'm still seeing after my mission too, is Heavenly Father's hand in each of our lives. Kind of like what Brianna shared with her serving in the temple. I have such a strong testimony and witness that God is in the detail of our lives, and He leads us to people, or He leads people to us that we need to bless, or they can bless us. And just seeing how He has a divine design, it's something that I've been blessed with over my mission, and now that I've been home, I've been able to see His hand a lot more in my life than I did before.
That's awesome. Alrighty, so I know there's like a lot of pressure with people of our age going on missions, and especially with the missionary age change. It used to be 19 for boys, 21 for girls. Oh, sorry.
I promise I'll have a straight face this time.
Especially with the missionary age change, it used to be 19. It used to be 19 for boys and 21 for girls.
Yeah.
One of those we'll make you do. Yeah. And I know with that, especially a lot of the elders started going a lot younger, and that was like great. And then a lot of sisters, where we used to not be sisters went on a mission a lot. It was like if you're not married at that age, you'll go, but now it's like every single sister. As soon as you graduate high school, you're going, like the pressure for girls. And so I think the more people are pushing on that, and the more you feel kind of bad if you don't go. And I know I have a lot of friends who've chosen not to for various reasons. Some are personal, some they're open about. And they just really feel that pressure, and it's really hard because you're trying to do your best and you're trying to do everything in your life that you feel like you should, and then people are saying you're not going to learn anything, you're not going to be the same person if you don't want a mission. So there's a lot of that pressure. But I know shortly after that, there was a face-to-face, which was where one of our general authorities spoke. I wish I should have pulled up this name before. But he was talking about how...
Was it Elder Holland?
Was it Elder Holland? It might have been Elder Holland. I'll put the name, whatever it is, right here. We'll look it up and then I'll put it down here. And he was talking about how he'd heard a lot of brothers saying they would not marry a girl unless they wanted a mission. And he's saying, don't be like that. Women are not, they're not required in any way. This is a volunteer for them. It's a volunteer for any member, but with men, they kind of push a little bit more for that. But for sisters, it's not something that's required. It's all up to your choice, and we should not put that upon anyone. And I think that's in general that you should not try to push anyone into that decision, because you don't know if they're struggling. If it's a medical, it's a mental, if there's some other struggle in their life, maybe there's a background, something happened in their childhood, and for some reason they can't serve. We don't always know those reasons, and I don't think we should be judging people if they don't go on that.
Yeah, I wanted to add on, I feel like there's like two what's the word? Two perspectives here. There's the church, which is the doctrine, which, you know, women, like Brianna said, women aren't commanded to go on a mission. It's the brother's duty to serve a mission if he's able to, but women, they get to choose for themselves if they want to. Well, we all get to choose, but women aren't pressured as strongly. And then there's the people of the church. So you have the church, which is what Christ teaches. Then you have the people, which all of us are imperfect, and so they pressure us to serve a mission, which, you know, they do it out of the kindness of their heart. They know that serving mission is to bless us, but they do it in such a way where it isn't as kind as it could be. Didn't any of that make sense?
Yeah, no, I think, no, that was like perfect, and I think it's not trying to come off rude, but in their mind, like, that's what they think is the best. And so if you hear it one time, if you heard it one time in your life, it wouldn't be, but once you start hearing it over and over again, it starts to become rude because it's so repetitive and the same thing over and over and over again, and you just get sick of it.
Well, and it's kind of like life in general. People are like, oh yeah, so are you dating anyone? Oh, you will someday.
Like,
oh, now that you're married, when are you gonna have kids? How many kids are you gonna have? People just like want to be nice and care about you, but sometimes it doesn't come out the right way. In my brain, which I think this is a great opinion. It's my opinion though. It comes down to us praying and receiving an answer from Heavenly Father for ourselves. Like for me, I had to step away from what other people thought and really think about what I wanted to do and what I felt Heavenly Father wanted me to do too. And so it comes down to us receiving personal revelation, personal guidance from God.
I think it really comes down to that, and it doesn't make you any lesser a person if you don't serve on a mission. I know they were talking in church today, they reminded us, President Monson, he was our previous prophet, right now our prophet is President Nelson. President Monson didn't serve a mission, but he kind of served in his own little way. He found other ways to serve and to help people and bless them. And I think that's the whole thing. If you serve on a mission, there's so much you can learn and you can grow as a person and you can help teach other people. But if you don't too, that's always been my goal, is if I'm not gonna serve a mission, I want to live my life as if I served a mission. And so I've actually still gone through and read all the missionary required materials. I try to read my scriptures every day. I do everything I'm supposed to. I don't wanna say supposed to, because everything that can help me grow closer to God, and I keep trying to add things upon that because I'm still not perfect, there's still other things, but trying to live my life as if I served a mission. And I think that works for missionaries too. So many missionaries come home and they stop reading the scriptures, they stop going to church, they stop doing everything they need to. And so I think for missionaries too, you come home, still keep doing all the things that bring you closer to God. Don't stop those, or your mission is not, like, you still serve and help people, but you're not learning for yourself. And so I think for both people is always kind of keep progressing in the gospel and keep trying to be a better person and loving and more Christ-like. And so no matter if you serve a mission or if you don't, you're still growing and you can still learn the same exact lessons.
Amen.
Alright, anything else you want to share?
I don't think so.
Okay, well, I hope you guys like this and this helps you. And if you're struggling, I'm not wanting to go on mission, hopefully this will help and give you that comfort. And if you are thinking about, hopefully this helped you and kind of get you that perspective too, because missions are great, and no matter what you choose, it's all up to you. It's between you and God of what that decision will be, and don't let other people affect that. Sometimes you need to start going in that direction of, do I want to serve a mission, and keep doing that, going in that step, and you don't tell anyone, and maybe you'll go down that path, and then you'll receive yes, and maybe it'll be no, and don't feel ashamed for what that is. I've had friends where even they were going to go on their mission and the week before suddenly they felt like they shouldn't, and they needed to go down that path to grow spiritually. So I don't think we should feel bad. We shouldn't be judging people for what happens because we don't know what's personally happening in their lives. But I think either decision, you can make the best out of it and you can learn a lot. So hopefully this helped you out. If you want more videos like this, let me know below, or kind of let me know your stories. If there's anything that you have learned that maybe you want to add on to this that have helped in your life. If you're new, please subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and hope you have a great day, great night. Let me know if you need anything. Bye, I love you.